Okay. I wanted to afterthought. I've written down because I journal. By the way, hello. If you don't know who I am, my name is Toms, Toms, and I'm just a guy who trains, lives life, and thinks a lot. But when I think, I try and notice things that I think constantly, and then I maybe try and um, move through curiosity through the topics. Topics that bother me, not bother me, but like constantly repetitively come into my mind. And in the last few days, I've been so there's these three analogies I kind of picked up that I felt like I wanted to speak about. The first one is this is something I thought about it, and I came to this conclusion of the absence of validation would create or would build humility, and it would create authenticity in our social society, in our social realm. Because what I see, and I live in Bali, and again, everyone has a different environment that they observe and they witness things and they observe, maybe they observe, maybe they don't. But yeah, so yeah, I was thinking about an idea of like, what if all of our, all of us didn't have the need of validation? Like we didn't need it. We didn't need someone's opinion to matter or someone's like or share to care, to be important to us, right? What if we didn't need that? And I'm thinking it's like, okay, if we strip the validation away, there's no space for ego to grow and to feed from things. So that would literally create a purification, a purity of a humankind, of humility. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I am just a fucking guy who thinks about stuff that fucks up with my mind. I'm sorry about the language, but yeah, and I feel like keeping things in my mind and not sharing it with my friends or you, or just I thought gonna start YouTube channel just about things I think about and notice. I would oppress it. I would keep it to myself, and then it would fucking frustrate me. Um, yeah, so that's one of the things. The the absence of validity or absence of validation would create humility and authenticity. Then there's a second analogy, which was an angry mind is a narrow mind. So when specifically talking about dealing with the situations that might trigger your emotional traumas or patterns that are hidden, the shadows, the things that you don't let it out because there's not many people that can trigger it. So moving through an emotion, through a situation where you have to be logical and practical can narrow your mindset because you are most likely thinking about destination or thinking about how can I win this discussion, or how can I become a superior. I don't know if there's like, if I'm saying it right, but how can I become superior to this discussion and how can I win? You know, that's another thing. It's like anger will give you a narrow focus, but when you need to expand the thinking, you have to learn when to use the anger. Cause like I use sometimes anger in my training, in the the times I truly need that frustration to move into that external force, external transmit into an external object. And then the third thing was curiosity is a key. No, curiosity, the key of the, how the fuck can I say it? Uh, Curiosity is a key that fits any lock. So this is another very important understanding about our minds is we must become curious to want to understand it, right? Because like if there's awareness, then you can become curious about the awareness, and then that awareness can create an understanding based on the goal destination you're trying to achieve. So there's right times and places that curiosity can make a huge difference, and I think curiosity is something that you have to be detached to allow the ideas to expand, right? And you have to be in a silence. You have to be on your own. You have to be away from distractions. Otherwise, your brain is picking things that might distract you from building the momentum through a curiosity, if that made sense. So you're building the momentum of wanting to find out. You're building a roadmap to a destination, and distractions might disturb that road, but it can also trigger you something that might create another idea or another road or junction. So yeah, it's just thought of the day, and I think these are quite important subjects to speak about because a lot of people lack awareness, self awareness first. You know, having self respect, having the boundaries, having values, and it's just so much shallowness, and people. It feels like people falling asleep because they are so they're so addicted to instantaneous gratification or instantaneous rewards. But again, who the fuck I am to be able to judge everyone? I'm not. I'm just a guy who thinks a lot of things, and a guy that wants to expand the things that are in my mind, extract them. So I don't know. What do you think?